Hello there, YouTube. This is John, master of the Demon's Lair table. I've been asked by some people in the Open Legend community to run a video tutorial on how exactly to create a Discord server designed for running tabletop role-playing games. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'll demonstrate. First off, I want to show you my server and how I have it set up. Off over to the right are the people that have access to this channel. Only these people can write in this channel. No one else can see this channel. As you can see, this channel is mostly rolls from my dice bot that I use on my server. This is for the Open Legend game that I run every Thursday. This one will not be recorded. It's more of a personal thing I run for my friends and family. And also, as you can see over here on the left-hand side of the screen, I have an Open Legend voice chat. The thing about this voice chat is anyone who's playing in this game, which are the people listed off over there to the right, can join this voice chat and listen and actually participate. Those that are listed there can say stuff and speak in the chat. However, if they're not listed there, but on my server, they can still join in and listen to the game in progress live as it happens, similar to an audio-only YouTube or Twitch stream, which is perfectly fine and awesome and amazing and all that good stuff. Now, I want to show you how to do the same thing. Okay, we're going to start by going down here and clicking the plus sign on the servers list. The far left, all those icons there are all the servers I'm a part of. Clicking the plus sign will bring up this screen. Then we're going to click the new server button. Now I'm going to call this server test_RPG because that's what the server is. It's a test server for RPG games. Now right here in this big circle, you can click here and it'll bring up your file picker and you can upload a profile image for your server. If it's something you want to have a very special picture, like some of the ones I've got over there on the left-hand side of the screen. Anyway, I'm not going to add a picture since this is just a very basic server and a basic tutorial. So we're just going to go for it. Now we have our test server. And I've just dropped in a little message right there. Hi and welcome to our test server. Now, this is fine. This is perfectly fine. It gives you a text chat, a voice chat, and it gives you everything you're going to need. This is it. This is all you need to do for a very basic server if you want to use this for voice and Roll20 or map tools or something like that for the actual tabletop software or what have you. However, for some people, Roll20 or tabletop tools softwares are not very great. I mean, like myself, for example. I'm legally blind, according to the state of Texas anyway, and I can't use Roll20 because it's not accessible to me. So, how I solve this is by implementing a dice bot. Here is the web page for the dice bot that I use. It's called the Sidekick. This is the SourceForge page. It will give you all the information, all the formulas you're going to need on how to command the bot to make its rolls. And to install it onto your server, all you need to do is just click the link right there that it says to click to install onto your server. You have to make sure you have permission to do so. But once you have the permission to install it onto your server, you choose your server, Test RPG. There it is. And then you click right there. If you've created the server yourself, you should have no problems having the permission to install it onto your own server. No problems at all. Now if we come back over here to my Discord, you'll see a Sidekick right up there. Now let's go ahead and give it a command just for testing purposes. /r1d20 exclamation point plus let's roll 4d6 advantage 2. This is an Open Legend thing. I'll explain more about Open Legend as time goes by. 4d 456 k2 with an exclamation point, and we'll give it a roll. Oh, looks like we might have had some dice explosions. Yep. We had some dice explosions. Anyway, that's all great and all, but now we get to, what if I want to run multiple games and use the same server so I don't have to create a new server for each game? Alright, we'll do that. The easiest way to do this, to run multiple games from the same server, is to click up here and come down here to Server Settings. While you're at doing this, you might want to go ahead and make a role for your dice bot. So we will go ahead and make roles, bots. We'll make the bots role. And what the heck, let's color it this color right here. And we're also going to display this role separately. Another role you might want to make for yourself is GM or Master or Admin, whatever you decide to make it. I'm going to call this Admin because you're administrator. And you're going to want to pull this up to the top here, so that way you're above the bot. Then you're going to want to select whatever color you feel like selecting, which in my case, we will go with this dark blue right here. So now that will be my color, and we'll see the importance of that later. So now you're going to want to also make a role called Players, or better yet, we'll just call this role Game 1. Because we might have more than one game running at any given time. Okay? So, as a matter of fact, let's say we do have more than one game running. So we'll also make a Game 2. You may not want to separate your players from Game 1 and Game 2 because sometimes they might be a little bit, in different areas. Sometimes people playing in Game 1 might play also in Game 2. Sometimes you'll have some overlap and crossover. But either way, if you choose to separate them out, you're more than welcome to separate them out. But we're going to call that done for now. Just for ease of reference, to set people to these roles, you come over here, you're going to right click on their name, come down to roles, and since this is a bot, we will add sidekick to bots, and now sidekick is a bot. Then you'll find your name, which should be the only other name there, and add yourself to the admin's role. Granted, your individual account here on Discord will bypass all role and rights limitations on the server because you are the one who made the server. It's your server. So, now we'll get started by creating a room. Okay? We're going to start with the text room because if you're using a dice bot, you're going to need a text room. Let's call this room just simply Game 1. Kind of hard to miss on Game 1. Then, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add your Game 1 role as well as your bots role, because that's how your dice bot will be able to get in to your game. Now, if you're the one DMing this, you don't have to add your administrator's role to it, although it wouldn't hurt to do so, just so that people know that you're there. So, Game 1, bots, and your administrator role. Go ahead and add those to it. That way people know that you're there running that game. And now you have your text chat for your game, and we can roll dice in here just like anywhere else. If your bot was not made aware of this room's existence, then it wouldn't be able to roll the dice here. The last thing to note is how to set up the voice room. The voice room is going to be pretty similar to this. So we're going to come down here to the voice rooms. We're going to add a new one. We're going to call it Game 1. And we're going to check our groups. We're going to check Game 1. And we're going to check Admin. This one you don't need the bots in, unless you want to run music for your games, which I will go over how to set up a good music bot in another tutorial video somewhere down the road, if it's requested. So we'll just go ahead and add the bots to it, just for S&G, just for general purposes. And now we have our voice room for Game 1. The other thing we can do, if you want to set it up so that anyone on your server can listen, you'll come in here to General Permissions. You're going to select your bot's role, make sure they can connect, make sure they can speak. You're going to select, as soon as I can track down the arrow here, there it is, your admin role, which is you. You'll be able to speak anyway, but let's say you have other admins that want to run games on your server. Make sure they have rights to speak. Then you can select your Game 1 role. Make sure they have rights to speak. Then you can also select everyone. Make sure they can connect, but take away their rights to speak. That will let people listen to games in progress that are on your server. Now that all that is set up, you're good to go. All you have to do is follow the same steps with your Game 2 room or role and go from there. There's a few other little tricks and tidbits that you could use if you wanted to have multiple admins but make sure the admins group can't access all of the games. You could just have the admins that run a game add themselves to the group of that game and just make that group open only, and thus keep the rest of the admins from interfering with your games or trolling or whatever it is you decide to do. At any rate, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on how to set up a Discord server for tabletop RPGs. The last thing I want to show you is what to do with a server if you ever get bored of it or done with it, or you just feel it needs to go away and go burn in a fire somewhere. So for that, we're going to come over here, Server Settings. We're going to hit General, and you're going to see this trash can right down here, which we're going to click, choose Delete Server, and Delete Server. For me, since my account is protected by two-factor authentication, which I do hope yours is too, wouldn't want anybody hacking your stuff, but since mine is protected with this two-factor authentication, it's going to ask me for an authorization code, which I'm going to put in off-screen and come back to after I end this recording. But as soon as you put in that code and click Delete Server, right here, where my mouse is poking around at, as soon as you click that button after putting in your correct authorization code, bam, server's gone, out of your list, nothing to worry about. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe if you did. Fairly soon after Christmas, I will be beginning an Open Legend tabletop series about a school for gifted and talented children. Well, more like teens, but either way. It's going to be great. My personal friends and I are going to have a lot of fun bringing this to you, and I hope you stick around and enjoy the show. Have yourself a wonderful day.